we usually do it pretty late.
And we're back with Game of Thrones Season 5. We certainly weren't just discussing family planning before this.
Oh, God.
No, not
Must
at all.
you?
I must. You know who you're marrying.
Oh.
You know who she's marrying? I'm Jesse Dram,
Not
host
him.
of the Kill Your Gods podcast. With me, as always, is my lovely, lovely fiancée,
Oh, God.
Perri Beth Lerner.
Hey, what's up, baby?
Hey, doing good. We're in Game of Thrones Season 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cruising along.
As we record this, I am 1 day before my second COVID vaccine.
And as we record this, we're paranoid about our bunny dying.
Yes. Rory the bunny was acting very strange today. She's mostly okay now.
Yeah, let's hope by the time we get to this podcast, she's not dead.
Yes, let's hope we don't finish this podcast and go out to find her.
That too.
You know.
Yeah, she seems better, though.
She does seem better. All right, let's get right the fuck into it. King's Landing. In a flashback, a witch tells Cersei she will be a queen, but be usurped by a younger, more beautiful queen. And immediately I say, hold the fucking phone. Now, I personally am more attracted to Marjorie of the two. But if we're talking conventional beauty here, Cersei wins that bracket 7 days a week, twice on Sunday.
Really?
I think if we're talking conventional beauty, even with the age difference right now, Cersei is hotter than Marjorie.
I could see that. Well, and I think Cersei is. I mean, Lena Headey is gorgeous.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think Marjorie
Headey.
is great. I think she's cute. But if we're talking, she's kind of a hammerhead. Her eyes are really
A
fall
lot
apart.
has to do with the fact that she's younger.
Yeah. I know you've made the point that her tits are ridiculous from time to time.
Oh, some of those outfits they put her in are just absurd. Absolutely.
Yeah, she's like talking and her chin is bopping off of her tits.
They did a good job casting that young Cersei, though.
They did, yes. Because immediately I had that thought, who was the other girl that was with you?
I think just
Cersei?
her friend. Yeah, I didn't think it was anyone important.
Okay. Tywin is buried. Again, we see the creepy rocks with eyeballs painted on them at the funeral.
Oh, yeah.
I like those.
Yeah, you want that?
Yeah, do that.
Okay. If you get buried, sure.
Which I will. That's what I want. Why wouldn't I get buried?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I'm in charge.
Lancel Lannister has returned, who is now a zealot of the Sparrows
Oh, my
cult.
God. Fucking Lancel. And you didn't even realize it was the same actor.
Yeah, I had to ask you if they recast.
Yeah. Lots of recasts, not that one.
Right. Jaime recruits Bronn to rescue Myrcella from Dorne. Marjorie tries to get Tommen to send Cersei away to Casterly Rock. Cersei seeks the alliance of the Sparrows and their leader, the High Sparrow, played by Jonathan Pryce from Brazil. The mainstream head of the church is found blaspheming in a brothel, and is thrown naked into the street by the Sparrows. So Cersei uses this opportunity to make some new friends. She empowers the High Sparrow and weaponizes the cult. They proceed to attack all sinners and kill gays in the brothel and arrest Marjorie's brother Loras for being a gay.
Did you just say a gay?
I did.
Yikes. Baby, you got to work on that.
And an apple a gay keeps a doctor
Oh, my God.
a gay.
Oh, my God.
It's just a funny way to say it. I don't mean anything
the
by it.
worst.
Marjorie confronts Tommen. Tommen goes to free Loras, but backs down when the Sparrows don't allow him entry. Tommen got punked the fuck out there.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Well, and I think he's starting to see, like, oh, my mom is really controlling all this, huh?
Yeah.
Because at first he's, like, defending Cersei.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mother would never do such a thing.
yeah, but I think Marjorie got him to see that was incorrect.
Yep. It should also be mentioned that this happens immediately after Cersei sends Lord Tyrell out of town.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just slowly picking off the small
Who
council.
you said you like.
I like Lord Tyrell.
Yeah.
He seems jovial, now the master of coin. Tommen goes to Cersei, who plays innocent, saying of course she had nothing to do with it. Marjorie says she must contact her grandmother. Jaime and Bronn arrive in Dorne and kill 4 sentinels out to search for them.
Sorry to interrupt. I don't think we mentioned that did you mention we're doing the first 5 episodes?
We're doing the first 5 episodes.
So hence the lengthy recap.
We dragged ass to get here.
Yeah,
I
we really
would probably
did.
I wouldn't mention that in the intro. I don't know.
Okay.
Jaime and Bronn arrive in Dorne and kill 4 sentinels out to search for them. We see Oberyn's girl and her daughter and 2 lady warrior friends who swear to abduct Myrcella against the king's wishes, because as we all know, we don't hurt little girls in Dorne.
The 2 lady warrior friends are also Oberyn's daughters.
They're also daughters.
Yes, they're all Oberyn's daughters.
Okay, the one of them seemed more like a guard.
Well,
so
the
I
two
wasn't
of them
sure.
don't like Oberyn's chick's daughter because she's like, oh, mommy, like the baby. You know, she's like, acts like she's better than all of them. And yeah.
I'm interested, though. I like that little girl gang.
Yeah.
I want to see what they do.
The spearing is impressive.
The spearing is impressive.
The spearing through the head.
The spearing through the head. Didn't that guy, the guy is buried in the dirt with a bucket over his head. Weren't there also scorpions in the bucket?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Dornish people.
Yeah.
They make the best wine.
So they're meant to be Italians. They make the best wine. They fight passionately. They fuck a lot.
That actually was not what I thought. I thought, like Middle Eastern, actually.
I don't see it at all. I would see Spanish or Italian.
Yeah, I pictured that being like the Middle East. Maybe because of the desert kind of thing. I don't know. That's what I always picture. I wasn't comparing the people to the people.
If we look at it like that, I could see them being a mix of those three Mediterranean cultures.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, they're going to do that. They're going to do something against Myrcella, intentionally bring about a war. Again, despite Oberyn's death being a result of his own carelessness in a fight he had won.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And his brother actually, like, goes into that where, like, he's like, Oberyn, like, lost fair. Yeah. You know, like, it's not like they murdered him. You really shouldn't be taking this out on Myrcella, which is ridiculous.
All right, you want to take the next chunk where we talk about Tyrion and Varys? Varys leaving very quickly.
Sure. Varys wants to take Tyrion to Daenerys, who he believes is the best option for the Iron Throne. Tyrion insists they go to a brothel to feel normal. He propositions a whore, but then rescinds when he finds out he still has too many feelings for Shay. Aw, R.I.P. Shay. Mm-hmm. A drunken, despondent Jorah recognizes him and kidnaps him to take him to Daenerys and return to her favor. Wow, that worked out well for Jorah and Tyrion.
So not to mention already, this is where I'm starting to see like some of the weakness of season 5 that people have talked about. Because Tyrion, I understand he's been trapped in a box for a while. He's been very annoyed. But he goes in this brothel and he's more or less like, oh, yes, a famous whoring midget. Surely I'm not the famous one everyone knows. You know, my family, they always pay their dues. And
that's not the impression I got is the drunker he gets, the less he gives a fuck about living. Because he is so depressed at this point. And I think like, look, I'm not saying there's not weak points in this, and I told you I'll tell you when this show starts to fall apart for me when we get there. But I do honestly think that, like, he has not had time to, like, process Shay's death. And this is, like, the first time. And killing his father. And I think he's just, like, gets to a point of, like, what do I have to live for anymore? And then he's drinking. So that obviously doesn't help. So, yeah, I do think there's, like, merit to that.
Okay. Want to finish that last part?
Jorah and Tyrion bond. As they approach Valeria, they see Drogon flying overhead, and they are attacked by stone men who are people whose grayscale has advanced.
They have the same thing as Stannis' daughter.
Yep, and they're crazy. And then Jorah finds out he's infected, but keeps it from Tyrion.
Because they can't touch you. If they touch you,
yeah, they can't touch you. But yeah, he hides it from Tyrion when he notices.
So the clock is ticking on Jorah. Or is it? Daenerys in Marine.
Oh, speaking of recasts, we got a recast of, or was that last season? We're moving too fast.
Of Dario?
Yeah.
That was last season.
Oh my God.
We went a long time without recording an episode.
That's where we got. Yeah, really.
The Sons of Harpy, again, this is Daenerys and Marine. The Sons of the Harpy start guerrilla murdering the Unsullied around the city.
And they're masters.
I think they were specifically like Sons of Masters.
Sons of Masters.
Yeah. So they all wear masks. One guy keeps asking, I think his name was Larac. One guy keeps asking Daenerys to reinstate the fighting pits.
Oh my God, he's so annoying.
He's super annoying. They involve Sith slaves, so Daenerys says no, but it was one of the only things uniting the slave and master classes. We see the Unsullied visit brothels, not for sex, but for tenderness and cuddling.
Yeah, I mean, what else can they do?
Exactly. They could eat some puss, suck on some titties.
Where?
Finger fuck.
You also, I mean, I don't know if it's further later on.
Butt.
Can you stop?
Sorry.
You totally left out the fact that one of the people was killed at the brothel.
the Sons of the Harpy start guerrilla murdering the Unsullied around the city. That's the one. I don't specifically say it's in the brothel, but that's what I'm referring to.
Well, that's the first one.
That's the first one.
So I just thought that was kind of important because you're talking about them going for comfort for, I don't know. I thought that was an important detail that the first one is like unexpected.
Right. And I guess it's also these unfeeling soldiers letting down their guard and enjoying their freedom for the first time.
Exactly.
Because Game of Thrones is arguing slavery maybe ain't so bad. Daenerys visits 2 of her dragons who are fucking pissed at her. A servant, this bummed me the fuck out. A servant murders one of the imprisoned Sons of Harpy.
Oh, yeah.
Daenerys has him executed, which leads to hisses and scorn from her new loyal subjects.
So which part bums you out? The part that she executed him or that they hiss?
The fact that they executed him.
Yeah,
he seemed like a good dude. He got carried away. She needed to make an example, and she turned her people against her.
Yeah, no, it was a bad call.
As they cry for mercy.
It was a bad call, right? Yeah, like, I don't know what she's trying to prove there.
Yeah. Drogon reappears to her, but then leaves. The Sons of Harpy go on another kill spree, this one all at once. Despite killing many more in retaliation, Daenerys' 2 closest advisors, Grey Worm and Barristan, are both killed.
And that's where we were going to record, and we didn't.
Because I wrote that note, like, all right, we're going to do episodes 1 to 4, and then we just never got around to it.
And then when we were watching it, I was like, oh, I miss Barristan. And Jesse's like, and Grey Worm? And I'm like, yeah, and Grey Worm. But
the thing was, I wouldn't have taken that shot immediately as they were both dead. But then you immediately said, like, I miss Barristan. And I'm like, oh, they're both dead. Okay.
Yep.
Way to spoil it, honey. Jesus.
And I didn't, because psych, Grey Worm's still alive.
Yep. And he admits he has feelings for Missandei.
Oh, I love Grey Worm and Missandei.
Daenerys feeds some of the nobleman heads to the dragons as a warning. She then agrees to reopen the fighting pits and says she will marry Lorak to obtain peace.
So fucking weird.
Yeah, that's out of the blue. Like, why him of all people? Other than he's the representative of that class, I guess.
That's pretty much it. And she can't trust anyone else.
True.
Because they're all murdering everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how they spell Baelish? I don't think I realized that.
I have no idea.
Oh, I think
I spelled it Baylish.
Yeah, I think that Y is an E.
Sorry, you want to read this part?
Sure. Who's they? Oh, Baelish and Sansa leave the Vale, and they leave Robin to the care of Royce, and learn how to be a man and fight and all that jazz. Podrick recognizes Baelish and Sansa in a tavern, even though Sansa's hair is still dyed brown. Brienne swears fealty to Sansa to protect her, but is rebuffed. Baelish's men attack Brienne, but they flee and set all the horses free beforehand. And spy as Baelish travels to Winterfell. There, he tells Sansa she's being betrothed to the newly legitimized sadist Ramsay Bolton because we need a sadist who will torture Sansa to replace Joffrey.
See, that's what we're talking about, because I didn't realize until you pointed out that literally the moment Joffrey is off the scene, Ramsay is taking prominence, because even though they're 2 entirely different characters, both being bastards who were, in line for the throne, but you kind of need any character in there that is powerful and sadistic.
Yeah, you need someone that, like, you're rooting for different people during different times in Game of Thrones, but it's almost like you all need one common enemy.
Right. Agreed.
So, yeah, it makes sense that why Ramsay starts coming on the scene when he does.
Mm-hmm. Right, he's coming in and filling that
because two of those characters is like too much.
No, you would be. There must be fan fiction out there about
fucking
Joffrey and Ramsay.
I believe it,
and just like jerking each other's dicks off.
Oh God.
Like literally off. I'm not saying getting off. I mean like pulling them off and then whacking each other like with pool noodles.
Yeah, no. Gross.
Sansa is unsure, but Baelish explains Stannis will defeat the Boltons and
what is that word?
Rescue. I went resecure.
I was like, what are you trying to go for?
Pretty much, he tells her, like, either Stannis will defeat the Boltons and rescue her and return her as Stewardess of the North, or she'll end up marrying Ramsay and can manipulate him as needed, still being Stewardess of the North. Either way, Sansa is in control. By the way, Sansa still thinks she is the only living Stark, because Starks keep, like, rubbing up against each other but not noticing.
Yep, that's true.
Here, you want to take those two?
Sure. Brienne gets a message to Sansa that if she's ever in danger, to light a candle in the window that Bronn was pushed from. So yeah, some random person comes up to Sansa and is like, "You still have friends in the north."
Still have friends in the north, governor.
Yeah, which makes sense because like I'm sure that like there are still people who like, you know, were aligned with Robb Stark, and the Boltons fucking got him killed. Well, he got himself killed. He made some really poor decisions. Ramsay's girl is jealous. Yes, the only other girl that like is into the weird sadistic shit. She reveals Reek, aka Theon, to Sansa.
He's sleeping in the dog kennel with them.
Yeah, I was like, and when she like guides her there, I'm like, why the fuck is Sansa even trusting this bitch? It's so weird. Like, haven't you been through enough to learn to like trust people?
Especially since when she comes up, she tries to play Chloe like, "Oh, hi, I'm from around here. I'm the kennel master's daughter. Oh, I'm sure your mother was lovely. I have something to show you."
Yeah, in the kennels. Okay, where am I? At dinner, Ramsay makes Reek apologize for killing Rickon and Bran.
He didn't.
He didn't, but Reek doesn't remember that. Then announces Reek as the closest thing she has to living family, should give her away at the wedding. Just like Joffrey gave away Sansa at her wedding.
Everybody just loves motherfucking Sansa.
Poor Sansa. Do you see why I was so sympathetic towards her in the beginning?
Yes, I can see that.
At first, I did not like Sansa either, but God, that girl has been through some trauma.
It does also say something that everybody wants to fuck Sansa, and yet nobody has fucked Sansa yet.
Good for her.
Good for her. Good for her.
We find out that Roos's wife is pregnant. Roos's wife, one of the Freys, is pregnant, making Ramsay nervous because they say, I think it's a boy. And the fact is, even though he's been legitimized, I believe that boy still has the claim to the throne. Yeah.
In addition to making Ramsay nervous, it also makes Ramsay make several pretty decent fat jokes. She's pregnant. How could you tell? How did you even get in there? Your wife's so fat, she thought Chips Ahoy was a great ship made of cookies. God.
Yeah, she's pretty bad.
If I was a better improviser, I would put so many Yo Mama.
Oh my God.
Hold on, I'm going to pause so I can think. No. Okay. At the wall.
At the wall. Oh, I was just...
Yo mama's so fat, she thinks wildlings are chicken wings and she eats them all.
Oh, God.
Father.
Oh, my God.
Your mama's so fat, I'm going to tear your cock off. Okay, that one didn't work.
Your mama's so fat, I'm going to feed Theon's cock to her as a sausage sandwich.
Your wife is so fat, she asks for seconds. Ah.
Oh, my God.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. One person's going to listen to that and love that fucking joke.
Your mama's so fat, she's not even my mama. I'm not even high for this one. Anyway, are you doing
Your
this?
wife is so fat. They shouldn't call her Frey. They should call her Frey. I don't know. I ran out. I thought I could pull something out. I am a comedian by trade, but not an improviser. Sorry. Stannis tries to recruit at the wall. Stannis tries to recruit wildlings to the cause, though he burns Rance alive, assuring they'll never follow him.
Who's Rance? Oh, Mance. Mance Raider.
You can see how I made that mistake.
Sure. Rance.
Mance Raider. His last name is fucking Raider.
Yeah.
I hate when fantasy does that and is like, this is a bad guy. I'm going to call him, Emperor Dark and Puppy Kill.
Mance isn't a bad guy, though.
No. I'm going by the last name being Raider. It's like when the name is so explicit into who the character is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. But he's not like a bad guy. Well, that's the whole thing with this, too, right? He tries to recruit them, and Mance is just like, I don't want... He's thrown, because he's like, I don't want my people to see me burn alive, but if I have to do it, I will. Like, right. He's very much in... And then he ends up screaming anyway.
Yeah, and Jon Snow puts a merciful arrow through the heart. Stannis makes an offer to Jon Snow. Oh, he offers to make Jon Snow a non-bastard, much like Roose, if he leaves the Night's Watch. Instead, Jon Snow is elected the leader of the Night's Watch.
Much to tiny faces, big heads, dismay. What's his name? Alistair.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I literally have the next sentence. The main guy's dickhead henchman. He refuses an order. Jon orders him to be executed. Like his father, he chooses to carry out the sentence himself. The henchman pleads for mercy at the last moment, and Jon just cuts his fucking head off.
I'll go to the place you want me to go. I forget what the place is called.
Yeah. Everybody in this show, as soon as they get the littlest bit of power, they need to but remember, there's a downside to power. It's like, I fucking get it already.
Sorry, I was kissing our cat.
This cat.
She's the best.
Melisandre attempts to seduce him, but he resists. She then leaves the room and says, "You know nothing, Jon Snow," which is getting really fucking old.
We did talk about
this. Initially, I was very much of the opinion that it's like, they're just shoehorning this in wherever. But then you made the point.
That because she alludes to it too, that she knows about she kind of alludes to the point that she knows Ygritte, about Ygritte, and that she's saying the phrase that she knows Jon Snow will pick up on to know that she knows.
Right.
So yeah, it's annoying, but
I'm wrong this time. I'm sure I will get 15 more examples before the show's done.
I don't know how much they say it after this.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I don't remember it being that big.
Jesse's guessy. Jon Snow dies in the next one.
Okay.
I know that's not true, but.
And then there's another Jesse Guessy, but I forget
what was the other Jesse Guessy?
Fuck.
Oh, I know what it is. My Jesse's Guessy.
Oh, I remember. We jumped over that too.
So yeah, when Barristan and Grey Worm are pretty much, they're gonna go do their patrols through the city, and that's when the ambush happens. Daario asks if he should come along too, and they say, "Oh no, we've got this." And Daario just happens to be the only one still alive or not brutally injured. So that makes me. Jesse's Guessy is, I think Daario was in on it. I think he's, why I also think he's in on it?
Why is that?
Because he has gotten the closest to Daenerys, and we've already seen one example of the person who got the closest to her was not being the most truthful.
All right. Well, we'll see if you're right. So far, you're 0 for however many guesses you have.
But I also left that a great so part of I missed little things on this, unfortunately, because I will, after watching the episodes, I will go to Wikipedia and just grab the important stuff and make the notes.
Right.
There's the great detail that when they all go in the brothel where Jorah is and Varys and Tyrion, there is a prostitute in a blue dress with her ass hanging out.
Oh.
Very clearly dressed as Daenerys.
Oh, yeah. And someone says everyone wants to fuck a queen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, the other horse says, everyone wants to fuck a queen.
Pretty much like the nail and palin of Westeros. Westeros. You could see how. Shut up.
You've been saying Westeros for 5 months now. Come on.
I don't know. Jon talks to Tormund, that is the captured, still alive wildling, about gaining an alliance with the wildlings, and he agrees, but only if Snow joins them, so they know they won't be sunk on their ships. Stannis agrees, so as Jon Snow goes out with Tormund out to the wildlings, Stannis and his family leave for Winterfell.
Yep.
This is actually going by really quick, considering this is half the season so far. But I think we've seen a lot of what we're going to get here with Arya. A lot of the scenes are just scenes repeating, telling a longer thing. So here, why don't you take this last thing?
All right. So Arya is in Braavos, the free city. She arrives, but is not allowed in the temple, the House of Black and White. A strange man turns her away, but
the strange man happens to be black. Which I would never, ever comment on if not for the fact that it's the House of Black and White and there is something happening
interesting, yeah. Also, it's one of the, 8 black people we see?
True.
But also spookily comes to her rescue when almost attacked in the city. She is allowed entry to the House of Black and White.
It is at this point where that black man magically turns into...
Jaqen.
Jaqen, thank you, because I can't remember.
Jaqen Hagar. She's tested and beaten by another girl there. Arya needs to lose her ego. So she throws away her clothes and her belongings. She pretty much puts them
off the pool.
In a river, yeah. And stows away Needle, unable to throw it away. They wash a dead body together.
I mean, that's it. That's the last we say.
It's just funny that, just out of context.
That was our third date. We watched a dead body together. And I said, so you ever think about having kids? And you said, ew, I don't really think it's... You don't sound like that. I'm in British accent mode.
I don't think we could go this long without recording again.
No, I don't.
Because I've lost too much detail at this point that I'm having trouble remembering where season 4 ended and season 5 began, and yeah. That's all I got.
Your wife is so fat, she thinks the Starks are steaks, and she killed them all himself, except for Rick and Bran. Fuck, I am such a bad improviser. I'm going to keep throwing out terrible ones.
Yeah, you're doing great, babe. Keep it up.
I'm just trying to think of words that rhyme with food.
Doing great, babe.
Your mama's so fat she thought hot pie was
I can't believe you're putting
fat.
your listeners through this. No.
Me failing is fun. Because I'm trying my best and I'm doing very badly.
Oh my God. I think that's when we end the podcast, and next time we will be better at this.
Be better.
Be better.
I am... never mind. I won't say it.
Good. Bye.
So where were we? Ahem. Your mama is so fat, she makes Samwell Tarly look like Tyrion Lannister.
Your mama is so fat, she could eat every fucking chicken in this place. It's gonna take me a bit to get into the accent.
Sorry. Your mama's so fat, she said the saddest part of the Red Wedding was the wasted catering.
Your mama is so fat, she makes hot pie look like side salad.
Damn, I wrote that one. Okay. Your mama is so fat, she makes Gregor Clegane look like Sandor Clegane. I don't get that one. This is a good one. I like it.
Your mama's so fat, the mountain said, whoa, that's a big bitch.
Your mama's so fat, she got stuck in the moon door.
Your mama's so fat that after the wall fell, they put her there to replace it.
Your mama's so fat, they call her the Lord of Light.
Oi, crikey, your mama's so fat she got turned into a white sitter. See, I changed up the accent a bit.
Oh, your mama is so fat, Arya has to wear her face as a dress.
Oh.
This one is one of my favorites.
Genji disappeared for 2 seasons because he had to row that boat around your mama.
Hello. Yo,
Sick burn.
Where your mama from? Winter fat?
Your mama's so fat she bleed chili. Bleed? She put chili at the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Ew.
Your mama's so fat, told mom to avoid it now. Again, I don't get that one, but I guess he's gonna...
Well, part of it is he said he fucked a bear. So that's part of it, but there's more.
Okay.
Daenerys actually had 4 dragons until your mama tried to ride one.
Your mama's so fat, when she heard Davos was the Onionite, she tried to deep fry it.
Your mama's so fat, she's... What?
Malachi, you can't fucking type.
Is it supposed to be fat?
I
Your mama's so fat, she's a two-faceless woman.
You can do that one.
Okay. Your mama's so fat, the god of death looks at her and says, ugh, not today.
Yeah, coming straight from my future father-in-law, Perry's dad. Your mama's so fat, the mountain could hide behind her. As a corollary, your mama's so fat, the mountain could use her as a sunshade.
Okay, Dad, not bad.
Yeah.
Your mama's so fat and undead, she ain't a white walker. She's a white rascal scooter.
Your mama's so fat, she needs the breastplate stretcher.
Your mama's so fat, she's the 3rd Clegane sibling. The mountain, the hound, and the pound. Oh.
The Fens only turn cannibal after your mama ate everything else.
Your mama's so fat, that's why the sun never shines in her ass height. What?
I think that's a town, maybe. I don't know. Dan D'April really knows his Game of Thrones.
Damn,
maybe it's from the book.
Beyond me.
Your mama's so fat and old, they renamed her the Gray Scale.
Oh, scale, haha.
Yeah.
Your mama's so fat and dumb, she went to Wendy's and ordered Littlefingers.
Ooh. Oh, I love this one. Your mama only took the black because it's a slimming color.
Your mama's so fat, it's really hard to say your mama so fat in a British accent.
Well, you know what's funny is that this all came from really a yo wife so fat, because if you weren't paying attention before, so when Roose Bolton tells Ramsay that he's gotten his chubby, Frey wife pregnant, he just goes off on all these fat jokes. And it's like, your wife's so fat, brother. How could you tell she's pregnant? That's all that kind of shit. So I outsourced this onto Facebook, and these are all the responses we got.
Yes, and it's very hard to say your mom is so fat in English.
I think it's easy.
Wait, go. Your mom is so fat, she needs to join the Weight Watchers on the wall.
Your mama's so fat, she thought the Tower of Joy was made of onion rings.
Your mama wanted to be Carl, but she was so fat no horse could be her throne.
Your mama's so fat, your house sigil is a stick of butter.
That's a good one. Your mama's so fat she tried to follow Tommen but bounced.
I don't know what that means. That sounds like a spoiler. Is Tommen going to fall from somewhere?
No.
Okay, good. We're not there yet. Your mama's so fat, it takes more time to walk around her than it does for the 6th book to come out.
Oh, burn against George R. R. Martin. Your mama's so fat, the walkers had to drag her out of a frozen lake with 3 miles of chains they somehow got from fucking nowhere.
Yeah, this is getting diminishing returns, but we're almost at the end. Your mama's so fat, if Brandon Stark had fallen on her, he'd still be able to walk.
Your mama's so fat, even Tommen Giantsbane... Oh, that's...
Double.
Okay.
Boo, Andrew Hamilton. I do that one.
Your mama's so fat, whenever she meets a Dothraki, he tries to ride her.
Nice. Your mama's so fat, it takes 3 faceless men to become her. Skip. It's Jeff Roser who's doing some of the great ones. This thread made me realize how little I actually remember from the show.
Your mama's so fat, winter is coming means her fat ass is about to eclipse the sun.
And I think there's like one. Your mama's so fat, she can't... Oh, this is what I was going to say. Your mama's so fat, she simply can't walk through Mordor.
Okay, we're moving on to Lord of the Rings, I guess?
Yeah.
Your mama's so fat, she's still invisible because she can't get off. And now she's like Game of Thrones. I've never seen her.
That's...
Okay, that's specific.
Your mama's so fat, if she was at the door helping Hodor, he'd still... I don't know what that means. We're going to ignore that. Your mama's so fat... Critics called her a self-insert by George R. R. Martin. Okay, I think we're done.
We lost some of these. I think you should have vetted some of those before.
No, they all needed to be added.
I'm blaming you.
So guys, we're going to continue with the second half of Game of Thrones Season 5. Let's go straight to Dorne. Jaime and Bronn attempt to kidnap Myrcella. The Sand Snakes, I did not realize that was their name until I looked it up.
Oh yeah, the daughters.
Yeah, and the royal guards intervene on all of them. Jaime parlays with the king, who agrees to send Myrcella back as long as she stays engaged to Trystane. Trystane and Myrcella have actually fallen in love, and the king makes certain... I keep saying that, who is the actual king of Dorne? We see the princes.
No.
We've seen 2 princes. If you want to call me baby, I'm a viper. I'm done.
Well, I think isn't he just a prince because the king is the king?
That's right. Tommen is their king.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting this
I
shit.
think you're getting confused because, like, a lot of places, they're lords.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one place where it's, like, a prince.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Tristan and Myrcella have actually fallen in love, and the prince makes certain that they have no alliance without that marriage. Bronn is locked up and poisoned by Tyene Sand while vociferously flirting with each other.
That's a great scene.
Yeah, a poison called the Long Farewell. She gives him the antidote when he calls her the most beautiful woman in the world. I love the relationship between these two already, and they only had 2 scenes.
They're pretty great.
Yeah, when she sees him off on the thing, he actually leans in, and what does she say? She leans into his ear?
Something about pussy.
Like, you want a good girl when you need a bad.
Yeah.
And then she just, like, bites his ear.
That's the funny thing is, like, when they're in jail, like, you think she's just, like, being an asshole and, like, tormenting him and shit, but then you realize, like, she kind of likes him.
I have to admit, when we first see her with the other Sand Daughters, I thought she was, like, a teeny. I actually looked up the actress, and she was on, like, 19. I thought she was, like, a young girl, like... Well, maybe like 14, 15.
That's kind of like Maisie Williams, who plays Arya, looks very young. But, like, she gets older, but she looks the same age as she started.
Right. And I know that actually, mild spoilers, I remembered in like the last season where she had like a sex scene,
Uh-huh.
and a bunch of people were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And everyone was pointing out like she's like in her 20s now.
Yeah.
This would also be something the character before she dies would want to experience, but because we've seen her since she was like a little kid,
Well, and she still looks 14 in that scene.
and she still looks 14.
And like I said, they're very vague about timelines passing.
By the way. So anybody listening to this, I don't think it's spoiling anything. Skip ahead 15 seconds. I saw the picture of that when it came out, and I had no reference for anything. Just like, oh, okay, there's an ass. But like Jesse's Gessie with a spoiler, I think it's Gendry she sleeps with. I'm not even looking at you because I don't want you to spoil that. But just from what I barely remember about that picture, like, ooh, that kind of looks like him in my memory.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? The poison is called the Long Farewell. She gives him the antidote when he calls her the most beautiful woman in the world. Prince Doran pardons the Sands and Bronn on the condition that the guards smack the shit out of Bronn. The Sand Girls and Prince send off Myrcella, Jaime, Tristan, and Bronn. The Mother Sand conspicuously gives Myrcella a long kiss on the lips. Just as Jaime confesses he is Myrcella's father, odd timing, she begins bleeding from the nose and dies from poison. Back on the docks, we see Ilaria bleeding as well, and then take the same antidote Tyene gave to Bronn.
So, and we discussed the timing kind of made sense, aside from the fact she was about to die, because it was like the one place that like no one could overhear them.
Right.
So.
And yeah, look, when you and I discussed, like, is it weird? Like, oh darling niece, I'm so glad we're taking you back home. By the way, awkward timing. I'm your father. I've been
And
fucking
she's
my
like,
sister.
yeah, I know.
I think somehow inside I've always known.
I think it's weird that like Joffrey was like didn't know. He had to be in denial.
Right.
Because like I said, they had to be hearing that their whole lives.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I made that point that like they had to be hearing that already, but then specifically she's been in Dorne, like people aren't gonna be shy about like, there's the incest baby.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is like I just really hate that Ilaria like kills her.
Yeah, I hate that she blames Oberyn fucked up on his own.
Yeah, no, I agree with his brother where he's just like, yeah, he lost fair and square. And once again, he would have won if he didn't get so fucking cocky.
That's right. Yes, he would have.
So, yeah, that really bothers me.
And, of course, if there is ever a moment on screen where two characters who have been apart for a long time share an important moment, one of them is not surviving a fucking, shot change.
There's a couple times that happens that I'm like, okay, one of these characters is not making it back, and they throw you, and they do.
Yeah, no, I told you there's tricks to that. When you and I watched the movie Ex Machina, I had a Jesse's Gessie for that. I'm good at
finding you things that you think you can predict really well and can't.
Right, but like I said, that movie very specifically played upon similar beats and similar stories that have done that, and then pulled the rug out from under you. So I think that's what they did here. You want to take the chunk on Marine?
Sure. Jorah and Tyrion are captured by slavers and sent to the fighting pits in Marine. Of course, once in front of his beloved Daenerys. Jorah wins the fight and reveals himself. Oh, thank God. Welcome back, Jorah.
Your boy.
He presents Tyrion as a gift to her. Tyrion counsels her to spare Jorah. Counsels her.
I wrote all these things up before dinner like an hour ago.
Yeah, also I realized we're in the first part of the fighting pit, so don't welcome back Jorah yet. He presents Tyrion as a gift to her. Tyrion counsels her to spare Jorah, and she does. Daenerys orders him banished from the city. She accepts Tyrion to her council. Jorah finds his way back to the fighting pits. This is welcome back, Jorah. He wins welcome back. He wins the great battle. He then throws a spear Daenerys' way and hits a son of the Harpy about to attack her. The Harpies are out in full force killing everyone, including her new husband, who I misremembered as being the lead Harpy plotter. And that was not the case. That was something
that would have made sense.
But you know who did not? Never mind.
What?
Sorry, I misspoiled something, including her new husband. Just as they have Daenerys surrounded, Drogon arrives and burns them alive. For the first time, Daenerys climbs the dragon's back and they fly away together. But she is he is injured in the process.
Right. They have a few spears at her. I can't believe it. So this is something that annoys me a little bit. Is we see the Sons of Harpy a few times, and it seems like they're a little splinter cell group or whatever, and then clearly in this fighting pit scene, like, oh, it's half the fucking city.
Yeah.
When it's half the fucking city, you really need the masks, guys. There's no way that's real gold.
Well, I wonder if they picked up more people.
Right. No, it's very possible, but I have to wonder what happens from here. I mean, it seems like there's no option other than like, well, we need to just kill all the fucking slavers. Like, that's it, just to be safe. Because, we tried doing it halfway. No half measures. Didn't work.
We'll see. So Jurgen's nursing some wounds. He takes her far away and refuses to return her, though they are out of food because, once again, Jurgen is, like, fucked.
Yeah.
And then a horde of Dothraki surround her. Varys arrives in Marine.
Sneaky ass, bitch ass, spy bitch, Varys bitch.
That would be Varys, yes. To help govern the city with Tyrion, Grey Worm, and Missandei, Jorah and Daario head off in search of Daenerys, much to Tyrion's dismay, which I don't know why he wants to go with them so badly.
Exactly. It makes perfect sense why he's the one to stay behind.
Exactly, especially since Missandei can help. But you have it, Jesse's Guessy.
I have a Jesse's Guessy. So, this one comes almost entirely from filmmaking. If you see the scene where Varys returns and is talking to Tyrion, he very distinctly says, like, you need to find out who are your friends and who are your enemies. And as he says this, in the camera, his entire face is bathed in shadow. Now, it could have just been horrible lighting. Maybe they had a long day. They were running out of daylight. But it seems very much to be indicating to me that Varys, who has also been missing all this time, is not, in fact, Tyrion's friend and is plotting something against him.
We'll see. You haven't gotten many Jesse Guessies right. The ones you've gotten right have been right before they've happened.
Yes.
He'll be like, quick, Jesse's Guessy, this happens.
Yeah.
Like, literally 30 seconds before it happens.
Jesse's Guessy, Ned's going to get his head cut off. Meanwhile, like, the blade is like a quarter of the way down. Yeah, we had a bad Jesse's Guessy coming up. I was able to keep everything very centric. The only note I have in here that is not a place is this little one right here, because Littlefinger is the only one who really changes areas this entire time. Littlefinger goes back to King's Landing, tells Cersei that Sansa is to be wed to Ramsay Bolton. He asks Cersei to allow him to lead a group of knights to take on whoever wins the battle of Stannis and Roose at Winterfell, in exchange for being named Warden of the North. So I am actually going to take that, and I'm going to skip ahead, because I didn't order these properly, to Winterfell. So, Sansa is married to Ramsay, who proceeds to rape her on her wedding night while forcing Theon to watch.
That is one of the more disturbing scenes for me.
Yeah, it's very upsetting. Sansa begs Theon to help her escape. Recall there was the old lady whispering to Sansa that she still had friends and to light a candle in the empty tower where Bran fell from if she needs help. Theon betrays her, and Ramsay has the old woman flayed alive. Theon admits that he didn't kill Bran and Rickon. First time that finally comes up. Ramsay leads a team to Stannis' camp and sabotages a bunch of stuff. Stannis sends Davos to Castle Black to request more men and supplies.
Wait, doesn't Theon admit that to Sansa, too?
Say that again?
Doesn't Theon admit to Sansa that he didn't kill Bran and Rickon?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right, but, well, I mean, we kind of jumped over that, because that's the point where Sansa starts to accept Theon a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. She doesn't hate him as blindingly.
Right. So.
You still betray the family.
Well, and that's why she trusted him to help her with the candle.
Right.
So.
Would you light my candle?
We sing that way more than should be allowed.
So the prince will stop raping me.
You're calling Ramsay a prince.
Ramsay, this is the closest thing. I'm off the dome here, baby. Stannis talks to Shireen, his daughter Shireen, who tells him she loves him and will do whatever she can to help him. Stannis then leads her out to be sacrificed and burned alive.
Also,
King's
one of
blood.
the more upsetting scenes in the show.
Enough so that I had a Jesse's Guessy. I thought there would be something maybe with her face, because all I know was she had the grayscale, and then it was stopped in its place. That's the only person it's ever happened to. I thought there might be some, like, God himself, that the God of Light himself had stepped in and helped her, and maybe as she was being burnt alive, then the flames would go out, indicating the actual intervention of the God of Light.
Yep, there's no mercy here.
Nope. The mother, who has just been... You and I had a disagreement on the mother, but what she does is at the last moment, she screams and tries to stop, but no, Shireen is burned to death. You and I had different takes on this. I read this as... what is the mother's name?
I don't remember. She's not important.
My take is that in that last moment, I thought, like, oh, the mother has just been going along with this the entire time, just, like, hoping Stannis would come around, like, didn't actually mean it at any point, and that's where we just finally see all the artifice break down.
See, and I just felt that the mother never really liked Shireen. I felt like she was resentful towards her because she was not a son, and that was the only daughter only child she was able to have. So she treated her horribly, and Stannis seemed to truly love her, even though he wasn't around a lot, and that's why. I mean, even the mother's like, oh, you're never around, you don't know like how horrible she can be.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so I really was surprised that the mother was the one who stepped in for that.
As we were watching this scene, I remember saying, like, how the fuck is he still going to have an army after this? And thankfully, the show came through.
Yeah.
And thank God, the next day, many of his men abandoned him. They find his wife hung alone in the forest in a final act of comeuppance and deservedness. As he approaches the castle to siege it, Bolton's troops rush out and surprise him. They are obliterated. After already being wounded, Brienne fulfills her oath to Renly and executes Stannis.
Yeah.
Great scene. Bye-bye, Stannis.
That Stannis didn't think that was going to come back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah. During the siege, Sansa lights a candle and attempts to escape, only to be cut off by Theon and Miranda. Miranda being Ramsay's side bitch.
Yeah.
When Miranda seems about to fire an arrow at Sansa, Theon dumps her bitch ass over the ledge. And then, very confusingly, Theon and Sansa jump off the castle together from a far greater height than they just pushed Miranda.
Well, and that was the other thing that you Jesse right as it was about to happen.
Right.
Like, they're literally all on the thing. She's pointing it at her, and all of a sudden he's like, Jesse! Theon just pushes her off. And I'm like, wow, well done 5 seconds before it happens.
It's a gift.
You're good. You're good. You're good, honey.
Okay. I think we can skip to Arya and Braavos, and then we can end with Castle Black and King's Landing.
Sure. Arya's in Braavos. So Drakhenhardar tasks Arya with investigating an insurance man who rips people's off. She disguises herself as a fishmonger.
Selling cockles and mussels. So, yeah, she just runs around the whole time yelling, cockles, mussels. Which, if you are a fan of Irish folk music, the song Molly Malone, that's pretty much, like, in every single verse. And like I said, it's a true Irish love song. And that I was in love with a lady who sold fishes, and then she died of a fever. The end.
And neither of us knew what a cockle was.
We did not know what a cockle was.
Turns out it's a shellfish, just as expected.
Makes sense.
So yeah, she just disguises herself as a fishmonger with the intention to investigate the man and then poison him. However, she gets distracted when she sees Meryn Trant arrive with Mace Tyrell. Mace Tyrell? I didn't realize that was his first name.
Yeah, I didn't either. That's what the notes say.
Sir Meryn is not only a pedophile, but a pedophile sadist who beats little girls. And I said, it's very odd to me with all the weird sexual things going on that, like, him wanting to be with, like, a young girl with, like, the eyebrow razor.
Well, yeah, we discussed that. How that's very different for the royals who have been married.
But he's also Kingsguard.
True. And, you know, I actually thought about
I'm not defending him. He's a piece of shit. I'm just saying, like...
I actually wonder if maybe from a production... Like, I would be surprised if this was different in the books, keep in mind. If maybe originally the idea was he was just a pedophile, but then it became a, like, do we really want to show Arya putting herself in danger to be fucked by this man? As opposed, it's much easier to watch, like, a young child actor turn the tables on somebody hitting them abusively, as opposed to, like, fucking a child and putting them in that scene.
Yeah, well, I told you.
Because if he's already a pedophile, does he have to be a pedophile who also beats the children too? What else does he do? Does he spit on their birthday cake?
Yeah, you're a lot of these people are truly terrible people if you haven't figured that out yet.
It's just extra evil.
Yeah, there's a lot of extra evil in this. But, did Ramsay really need to rape Sansa?
She seemed like she was willing to go along with her wifely duties just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Did Joffrey really need to kill that whore with a crossbow? There's some pretty evil characters in here.
Here's the thing, they've been evil, major characters. Stance has just been flying. Is his name Stan?
No, Meryn.
No, this guy.
Meryn
Trent.
Meryn Trent.
Gotcha.
Trent, this is last name.
He's just been kind of on the outside. He's been involved in major moments, but I don't think we don't know anything. We don't know about anything about his motivation.
It gives us another reason to not like him, though.
Very true.
But
just in time to have reasons to not like him, he gets comeuppance.
Yeah. As expected, he gets what's coming to him. And that's the other thing with this show being what the fuck is okay, you have the Targaryens who literally needed brother and sister, but it's a big deal that Cersei and Jaime fucked when you I don't know, it's dumb. So anyway, Arya sneaks in under a different face, stabs him repeatedly, cuts his. Well, first he's beating the shit out of her, and she doesn't scream.
Right. There's 3 girls in the room, and the first 2 give a whelp every time he gives them a whack, and then this last one with her face covered just fucking takes it like a champ.
Yeah. Did you have any idea it was Arya?
Yeah, I figured it had to be.
Okay.
She was so conspicuously having her face covered. And we've seen, the face moving through. She's been, training into this.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say she has the face covered because it didn't really matter. It was a different face.
Yeah.
But Arya sneaks in under a different face, stabs him repeatedly, stabs him in the eyes, which is pretty great. They love a good eye stabbing in this show.
Great, practical effects, it looked like.
Then she gives her name, and she explains why she's killing him, and it's you killed Serio.
You're first on my list.
And the best part is she's killing him in Serio's home.
That's right, he was in Braavos, where he is still hiding out, because we never saw him die. He's out there.
And she kills him. Yes, finally. Because he is also... Yeah. Did he chop off Ned's head?
No, I don't think he chopped off... Wait. He may have.
Okay. I can't remember.
I think he did.
I just know he's Joffrey's dude. He was Joffrey's dude.
Right.
Okay, so when she gets back to the House of Black and White, God Guy.
I couldn't keep typing that fucking name.
Oh, Jaqen. Jaqen poisons house to punish Arya, as Meryn was not.
Only death can pay for life.
Yes, as Meryn was not her life to take. Arya peels off the face of the dead man, who reappears behind her, and keeps peeling faces off until her own is revealed, at which point she goes blind.
Yeah,
What's happening to me?
This is another one I saw, because again, watching with my good friend Ian Fitzgerald, what's up, buddy? I do remember there was just a season where Arya was blind.
Yeah, and you did say she was blind. You knew she was blind, but
Right.
you had no idea how she got there.
I did not.
Very weird that everyone's last name is in that recap.
What do you mean?
No one's first name was in there.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So, pardon me, there's a big dinner here. Great cook, baby.
Thanks, honey.
All right, the last 2. King's Landing. Lady Olenna tells Cersei they have no allegiance if Marjorie and Loras remain imprisoned. At a trial, they both maintain their innocence. However, Loras' lover testifies against them, and they're both arrested. I guess they were already arrested, but this was they're more or less you're guilty. So, and then they'll determine the
This feels a while ago.
Yeah, this does. Tommen is a little bitch-ass bitch and refuses to intervene. The High Sparrow denies to release Marjorie and Loras, as Lady Olenna begs. He does, however, arrest Cersei for fornication and incest. Yo, fuck Cersei. I don't know how she could have thought this would end any other way. You let me go get those perverts arrested. What? I forgot I was a pervert.
Yeah, that was bad call.
You wouldn't happen to be a Lannister by chance that I could suck you off and gain favor.
And she just should have kept them under control. The problem was not letting Tommen, like, really, like, put them in their place.
Yeah, and also, that part of the confusion for me is just kind of like, I know she's a very egotistical woman, she wasn't going to give up any kind of power, but, like, if you weren't such a fucking bitch to Marjorie, you were a queen, you know how this was going to work. I guess this is one of those things that kind of annoys me in things like this, where it's like, ooh, they're master manipulators, but then also they make huge, gaping, obvious fucking mistakes.
Yeah.
Which in her case is like, oh, well, she's a master manipulator, but she also is dumb as shit. As if, like, the king's mother can hold on to her same power forever.
Here's the thing, and I'm not saying there aren't plot holes or there aren't issues, but she was a master manipulator. Why? Because Tywin was helping her.
That's true.
She doesn't have Tywin helping her make decisions. Not for nothing, but, like, Tywin was the one keeping that family together, and now that, like, he's not there pulling the strings, they're kind of fucking shit up.
Very true. Very true. So, she refuses to confess and continually tells her chamberwoman that Cersei's face will be the last thing she sees before she dies.
Oh, that fucking nun. Confess.
I kind of like her. She's fucking evil. This is important because it's mentioned, but I don't even remember if we say it. Cersei's uncle Kevin is named Hand of the King. Cersei confesses to fornication, but not incest, which she obviously can't. That would invalidate her children's.
I mean, she did technically own up to incest because she said she was fucking her cousin.
Yeah, that don't really count.
It should.
That doesn't count in half of the world now.
It should. They were all making fun of her for it.
But he's still getting made fun of for it, but I mean, cousin fucking is like built into the constitution of some countries.
I'm just saying.
She is allowed to atone, but will still stand trial for incest. However, he does say once she atones, she may await trial at the Red Keep. Her hair is chopped off, and she is stripped naked and forced to walk the entire way through the city to the Red Keep. All the while, the townspeople pelt her with curses and hate and garbage.
And maybe feces. It looks like there's some poop in there.
There's some poop in there. There's some poop that gets stuck on her shoulder.
And her feet get so bloody. That really bothers me.
And again, it's the tricky, like, I think this might have gone too far for me to ever feel bad for Cersei.
Yeah.
They're really trying to get you there.
Yeah, it's rough. And because I've seen it before, I'm not sure how I felt the first time around.
Upon arriving with bloody feet, Qyburn greets her and raps her shame. He also introduces her to the newly zombified Mountain,
yes.
Who has vowed silence.
He's sworn an oath of silence until he kills all of his master's enemies or whatever.
Right, so he's going to go on a fucking kill rampage. Is it still played by the same guy, Halfborg?
I don't think so.
Why does nobody want to just be the Mountain all the time?
I don't know, but
it made him famous.
Do you see why I forgot who was the Mountain when you'd be like, is this the Mountain everyone knows? Is this the Mountain everyone knows? I'm like, I don't even remember the Mountain talking at this point. Because yes, he was around for 5 seasons, but you tend to remember the end, and I legit do not I was like, oh yeah, he was just a person. I forgot he wasn't this mummy or a zombie. Yeah.
So you can wrap it up with the Wall and Castle Black.
Okay, so Jon Snow travels to the Wildlings at Hardhome, which is a place they set up when they got attacked. And he tries to convince them to join forces on their side of the wall. While he's gone, the former chief of the Watch amasses power again.
I could not remember that guy's name. What's that curly-haired fuck?
Yeah, fuck. The guy with the short... Alistair. Yeah, so Alistair amasses power again. 2 members of the Watch threaten Gilly and beat Sam until Ghost chases them off. Yeah, Ghost. Sam and Gilly finally fuck.
Yes,
Did I do that right?
Yeah.
Tormund immediately kills the Wildling skull leader.
I really love that because he shows up like, you're a goddamn traitor. And he seems like this guy must have taken some power since Mace died. And he just fucking bashes his fucking both of his skulls in.
Yep. So he immediately kills him for talking shit and convinces 5,000 Wildlings to join. Just then, the White Walkers attack and kill tons of them. Jon Snow manages to kill one with Longclaw, his Valerian steel sword.
Which we did not know was possible.
Yep, but now we know
So it had to
Valerian
be
steel
dragon glass.
kills. So it can be dragon glass or Valerian steel. As they escape, the Night King resurrects the dead wildlings as his new soldiers. So yeah, the problem with them trying to fight the wildlings is they don't defeat them. They're giving them a new army every time.
Right.
And and then the Night King has that look at Jon like. And I wish we had video because the way he like he's just like stands there and raises his arms up just like.
For wrestling fans.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
For wrestling fans, he does the thing with the Undertaker where he turns the lights on by raising his arms.
Yeah, except he turns the lights on in the dead people.
That's right.
Yeah,
so we discussed. You said this was one of your favorite episodes, and I actually did not care much for that episode.
Part of them is a classic Game of Thrones episode, but I wonder if you'll start to like the Wildlings or the White Walker storyline once more than just the Castle Black becomes involved with them.
Yeah, they just feel so outside of everything else. They operate on a different set of rules than any other things that are happening. We still don't know much about them other than Cankers, what the fuck was it?
Craster, yeah.
Other than Craster's boys make up a good chunk of them.
Well, but it is important to remember that they're building this from the beginning. Literally, the first scene, they are talking about White Walker.
What was the very first? Oh, yeah, that's right, because we see...
The Night's Watch people.
I remember.
Yep, and they desert, yeah. So Jon returns with the wildlings, and the Watch is not happy.
Alistair.
Oh, thank you. Alistair says he has a big heart, and it will get us all killed. So Sam and Gilly leave... and little Sam leave to Old Town, where Sam will be trained as a maester. Yeah, that's his calling. Ollie tricks Jon into cornering himself, and the Night's Watch stab him to death slowly like Caesar, including Ollie. Ollie takes him into.
Well, what did he trick them into? He said like, oh, they think they've fucking done something. Come quick. And he comes in, and there's just like a fucking cross with the word traitor written on it. And then just like Julius Caesar being killed by, if you're not aware of the illusion, Caesar was killed by the Senate, where like, in order for all of them to share the guilt and not be able to be prosecuted, they all took a stab at him, literally.
And I think they say for the
Night's Watch.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Jon dies.
Jon dies at the end. So, where would we rank season 5 so far?
Well, what's been your most favorite season so far?
I think I don't think I can do it by season. I think the season Joffrey died, I think that was last season.
4, yeah.
That might have been my favorite.
I actually really like season 5.
Yeah.
I don't know if
this is a good one. I liked a lot of it.
I told you, like, people shit on season 6, but like there are some of my favorite episodes coming up in season 6. So
all right, give me a character, and I will give you a Jesse's Guessy for season 6.
Marjorie.
Marjorie and Loras are gonna realize the real key to power is incest. They're gonna fuck each other. They're gonna have a baby. Twist: the baby becomes a White Walker, and Cersei eats him.
All right, are you gonna give a real guess though?
I think they'll be released. I think we still have not seen the power of the Tyrells. Mm-hmm. It's been kept. I mean, obviously the main thing we've seen was the poisoning of Joffrey, but I think the Tyrells are gonna fuck shit up at some point. I think Lady Olenna is gonna set some dominoes in motion.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I could see them straight up invading, fucking freeing them. We haven't seen any of their military might, but we know they have all this fucking money.
And they have the food.
That's
what Lady Olenna kept saying.
Like, everybody will... Oh, yeah, that's right. She pretty much said to the High Sparrow, it's like, we're going to cut off all the food. Like, well, there's no concern of mine. Like, believe me, the people won't care. They'll know they're going to starve, and they're going to know it's because of you. Yeah. And then we'll see what happens. What?
Yeah.
In the book.
We'll get Bran back again.
That's right.
And that he was dealing with some White Walkers before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I hope it's not just a sudden, like, I hope he's been doing something with the Three-Eyed Raven this whole time when he comes back.
Who's your favorite character so far? At this point.
It's hard to beat Tyrion, but Tyrion had a pretty lax season here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what happened in the first half of season 5 with him. Oh yeah, he's off. Well, that was the end of season 4. So yeah, he escapes with Varys. He gets kidnapped by Jorah, and then pretty much everything we just talked about.
Yeah.
So it was Tyrion, but he had a light season. This is good though. This is in professional wrestling, people will tell you the worst thing is when the guy on top is on top for fucking years. You need to let him go and lick his wounds for a little bit because that actually means something.
Right.
When he jumps up again. Shit. Hold on. Let me pull up those notes again and try to figure out who was my favorite character.
And just FYI, now all the Baratheon brothers are dead.
That's right. That is right. That's definitely going to have some stuff. I don't think I like anybody. I really don't think I do. It has to be Tyrion still. Arya's cool. I like Arya, but this has also been a kind of lame season.
I've said this to you, I don't love this storyline, but it does play out. Like, there's a reason for it. But, yeah, I don't love this storyline.
Yeah, keep in mind, I've also just kind of accepted, like, okay, this guy's kind of God that she's working under, and they're doing something. They haven't even attempted to give an explanation, hence I haven't had the opportunity to be disappointed yet.
Right.
They could whiff that one day, though.
I've got a slightly different question. Whose storyline are you enjoying the most right now?
Fuck, I really don't know. It's just kind of happening. I mean, I'm very interested to see what the fallout is of killing Marcella.
Okay.
Because even though it'll be hard to prove, what else could it be? Especially since the other prince was flat out like, I will kill you if you do this again. She's like, okay, I'll kiss your finger. Poison that bitch.
I like the Cersei storyline right now.
Yeah, that's going to bring something interesting. The fucking sparrows are going to get massacred.
Yeah,
clearly.
Probably.
So, again, I'm curious to see that happen, but at the same time, it still seems so like... I mean, fucking... Even Hitler took like 10 years to take some kind of power. Meanwhile, the High Sparrows were just so... It's literally like, nobody expects this. The King's Landing Inquisition...
It did, come real fast.
Immediately.
Well, like I said, I think part of it was Tommen not putting his foot down. Yeah. So they were like, well, if the king's not going to say anything, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
I wonder if Tommen is meant to be Hamlet. Because obviously his father's been killed. He's an incredibly indecisive little shit.
Well...
But that doesn't make sense with Margaery. He's not, Wait, what's Hamlet's wife?
Does Hamlet have a wife?
I know he has a wife. I'm confusing Ophelia. Was Ophelia Macbeth?
No, Ophelia was...
Lady Macbeth was Macbeth.
Yeah. Was Ophelia a fellow?
Maybe.
I'm looking that shit up.
That's the end of this podcast. So, yeah, as we record this, it is April 5th, and Perri and I'm just going to kill time here. You can stop listening now. But, yeah, me and Perri will be married in 3-4 weeks.
Hamlet.
Fuck yeah. I know my stuff. We're just
you just told everyone we're getting married?
We're getting married.
Well, hopefully this comes out after we're married.
This is definitely coming out after we're married.
Sweet. So, guys, this is my husband.
That's right. This is my wife.
My wife.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I'm going to be calling you my wife.
Dad humor is about to become a whole other thing.
Oh, God.
But, yeah, so we got 3 more seasons left, and I think we're getting good at this, because this entire season we wrapped up in, just an hour.
Oh, wow.
And keep in mind, that's an hour with about 8 minutes of fucking Yo Mama So Fat jokes.
True. We're good.
We're good. All right.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.